Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What do we have here? We have here the Ukraine's largest drone attack on Moscow. It occurred last night. Some of them were successful. Some drones hit some targets. I will show you what targets. And some drones were hit by the Russian air defense systems. That's one topic. The second topic, we have three of them. The second topic, the Russians conduct a massive drone and missile attack on Ukraine. About 70 plus incoming targets on Ukraine over about 15 oblasts or something. I don't even know. I think Ukraine has about 15 oblasts. And the third topic, which is a confirmation for us and news for the baboons, the Ukrainians used obviously American supplied HIMARS missiles to destroy bridges in Russia. HIMARS. So Russia is invaded and attacked by NATO using Ukrainian blood. That's the conclusion that I drew about 2.5 years at least. Maybe in the first 2 months of the war, 3 months of the war, it was clear. So let's start with the first article. And the article comes from, obviously, from CNN. And CNN, I picked CNN because I would like to build some trust with YouTube. If I would use only the Ukrainian and the Russians, then that would be bad, obviously, because they're lying. But CNN is not lying. Therefore, I'm going to use it. So let me make sure I don't show you an explosion here, and then these imbeciles can do something. So, the imbeciles being YouTube. CNN, Ukraine advances in Russia as Moscow mayor accuses Kiev of one of largest ever drone attacks. We're going to go down here where we need to be. Moscow drone attack. Russian authorities, excuse me, also claimed Wednesday, today, the 21st of August, that their air defense systems has destroyed 45 Ukrainian drones overnight, including 11 over Moscow, 2 over the Belgorod border region and 2 in Kursk. And I'm going to show you on the map where they are located. This is one of the largest attempts to attack Moscow with drones of all time, Moscow's mayor said on Telegram. Some of the drones were destroyed over the city of Podolsk, about 38 kilometers, 24 miles south of the Kremlin. Reuters quoted Sobyanin as saying. So let's see where is Moscow, Belgorod, and Kursk. All right, so this is Ukraine, Kursk, excuse me, Belgorod right here to Russian Oblast, and then we have Moscow right here. And that is about 500 kilometers from the border. So you can imagine that these drones, what the hell, I'm losing my voice, traveled from here. They also were destroyed over Bryansk, Kaluga. I will show you that in a different article. And then Moscow. I don't think they came from Estonia and Latvia right here. I don't think they came this way because the Russians claim they destroyed some on the way up here. All right, let's go to the next article. Coming from Reuters. See, the guys who tell us the truth. This is 11 hours ago. Ukraine launches one of the largest ever drone attacks on Moscow, mayor says. Ukraine launched one of the largest ever drone attacks on Moscow on Wednesday, the city mayor said, with Russian air defense units destroying at least 10 drones flying towards the capital. Some of the drones were destroyed on exactly what they said over there. Next one, we go to the Telegraph, another truth tellers. Ukraine launches largest drone attack on Moscow. And you have here a picture with an apartment building, from what I can see, on fire over there. So not this one here, in the back, the one in the background. Now that can be something else, could be a I don't know, military facility in Moscow. But nevertheless, what they show here is something that looks like that. It says here, Moscow in flames. When? They don't tell you. So in total, 45 drones were downed over Russian territory, including 11 in the capital. The ministry said. Moscow mayor said the attack was one of the largest to date. Russian media shared unverified videos of the attack. It's true, they did. I watched the video. but Ukraine military is yet to claim responsibility for the air strikes. It's NATO, okay. Temporary restrictions were put in place in Vnukovo, Domodedovo, and Zhukovsky airports. So they showed some pictures, and we got a video from Russia Today in the next article. In the meantime, Sputnik says Moscow repels one of the largest attempted drone attacks in history overnight. Russian alert air defense systems destroyed 45 Ukrainian drones last night, including 11 over the Moscow region. And I'm quoting, the air defense on duty destroyed 45 aircraft-type drones when the Kiev regime attempted to carry out a terrorist attack using an unmanned aerial vehicles on objects in the territory of the Russian Federation. If you attack, well, I'm looking at that. When you attack civilian infrastructure and apartment buildings, what is that? Well, that is terrorism, isn't it? What's terrorism here? You try to change the political and economic direction of a country by creating panic, fear. That's what you do. You think that the population will go and overthrow these guys, or they will change their mind, the guys in charge of the nation, of the people, because they're afraid that if we continue, you guys are going to fuck us up. And you destroy the civilian infrastructure, and the civilian infrastructure and the weak people will say, okay, please negotiate. Now, the problem is the strong people would say, no, give me the freaking weapon, I'm going to go myself. The problem is, in every society, the cowards are more numerous, overwhelmingly more numerous than the courageous segment of the population. So when you do this kind of things, you think, I'm going to influence the weak. Not the strong. Okay, the strong are going to be this much, but I'm going to influence the weak. And the weak in panic, they will do stuff. They will do stuff. And they will not do it like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm in panic. Give me those weapons. I'm going to go and fight. No, that takes courage. You're going to go the easy way, which is, please, don't hurt me. Please stop. All right? That's what it is. So this is the aim of this. This one, create panic. Therefore, change the regime, change the direction. The second one, building morale for your own troops. Hey, we hit Moscow, yeah, give me some vodka. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's another one. And the other one, to show your masters that, hey, guys, give us more, or the public of the masters. The public is us. Oh, yeah, see, if we would just send more weapons, they will win, and we win. Freedom wins. Right? And the baboons out, not baboons are us. The guys in charge was like, you got that right. Thank you very much. My media outlets, the, how do you call it? The operatives, the legacy media, they will help doing that. They will help them. So you say, okay, we need more to send more. How? Get more loans for the international banking system, print more money, and tax us more. Who's losing? We lose. All the way, 3 times. I was about to say 3 holes, but we don't have 3 holes. Anyway, so let's move on here. So it was also stated that 11 drones were shot down over the territory of the Moscow region. Next one. Russia Today. Large-scale Ukrainian drone attack on Moscow repelled, mayor. The video is just, I'm not going to play it because of YouTube. You know, the truth tellers and gatekeepers of reality. What's going on? You say some boom, and that's it. That's what all the video. So I will spare you, spare our problems, spare us from having problems with YouTube. The guys who own YouTube. 11 UAVs have been downed. Okay, we already know that one. Let's see if anything else is right here. Several hours later, the Russian defense minister announced that the Kiev regime had attempted to carry out a terrorist attack, and quote, using drones, adding that 11 UAVs have been shot down over Moscow region alone. The ministry noted that a total of 45 drones were destroyed over Russia overnight, with the bulk taken down over the Bryansk region. Ukraine has periodically tried to target the Russian capital, located more than 500 kilometers from the front line, with drone raids, although most of the UAVs have been neutralized short of their target. Some of the strikes were aimed at government buildings and Moscow IT core. Some. All right, so this is the first topic. Successful, even if they reach the vicinity of Moscow, that's successful. Why? Because when you have I'm going to be nice. When you have a toddler and the toddler just rolls over, you're going to go, oh, yeah, he didn't do a handbag, whatever, flip or something. Why? It's a toddler. The expectations are low. The same with Ukrainians, with NATO at this point, are low. With NATO, are low. Why? Because they didn't decide to send weapons to hit Moscow with rockets or missiles. When they will do that, then the expectation is going to be higher, right? So their expectations are low, but you have, let's say, a 17, making a minor, 17-year-old person who's just doing a cartwheel or rolls over on the carpet. You're not going to say, good job, Jamie. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to say, what the fucking retard. That's what you should say in the good old days. Now you say, good job, Jamie. Anyway, let's go to the next topic. The next topic is the Russians returned the favor. New Voice of Ukraine reports on August 21st, 2024, Ukraine's air defense destroys 50 Shahed drones and missiles in large-scale Russian strike. Ukraine Air Defense Forces shot down 50 Shahed drones and guided air-launched missile during a large-scale Russian attack on the night of Wednesday, August 21st. This was announced by Pop. The Russian occupiers launched the following attacks on Ukraine overnight. Brace yourselves. 2 Iskander MKN-23 ballistic missiles from Voronezh Oblast, that's 1 KH-59/KH-69 guided air-launched missile from the airspace over Kursk Oblast, 69 Shahed-type attack drones from Primorsko, Akhtarsk, Yeisk, and Kursk. In total, the Air Force radar units detected and tracked 72 airborne targets. The Russians' air attack was repelled by Ukrainian aviation, anti-aircraft missile troops, electronic warfare units of the Air Force, and mobile fire teams from the defense forces of Ukraine. As a result of the air battle, 51 enemy targets were shot down, 1 guided KH-59/KH-69 missile, and 50 Shahed drones. Now, the enemy targets were destroyed across multiple regions, listen to this, including Khmelnytsky, Poltava, Cherkasy, Kiev, Vinnytsia, Ivano-Frankivsk, that's in the west, Dnipropetrovsk, Mykolaiv, Odessa, Kherson, Donetsk, Kirovohrad, Sumy, and Chernihiv Oblast. An additional 16 drones were lost from radar tracking, likely due to interference from electronic countermeasures. The details are still being confirmed. Additionally, a Russian attack drone crossed the state border from Belarus into Chernihiv Oblast. They want Belarus in. So they can use, hey, NATO, please, you come as well. With another Russian UAV returned home to Belgorod Oblast, Oleshchuk said. All right, so we got Ukraine form. Ukrainian Air Defense Forces shot down 50 Russian drones and 1 missile. There's the same information as New Voice of Ukraine, and we have the last article on this subject. Air Defense Forces destroy all 29 Russian Shaheds at night. This is an old article, but the reason why I picked it was old from the 15th. Right? Why did I pick it? I pick it because these guys are destroying all of them. Why? That is a commercial. They are advertising for the American military-industrial complex. Is it possible to destroy all of them? It's possible. Is it likely? I don't think so. But who knows? How do you verify that? When they say they destroyed all of them, watch for the next 48 hours news report. When they themselves will say, well, about, 3 oblasts have no electricity. And 300,000 people have no water. Or something like this, and you find out that actually the previous day successful all Russian Shaheds or missiles were not downed, but they come with a justification, a baboonish justification for the baboons. The wreckage, the debris of the drones that are not wider than my arms span, a little bit, about 3 meters, all right, they fell exactly on the distribution center, on the communication, on all these things, the wreckage. Remember, those are drones, are not missiles or anything like big freaking airplanes falling down and making a... No, it's just drones with this much 50-pound or whatever load. And they destroyed the oblast. So that means they're lying. It's very easy to find out who's not lying, especially during the war. Remember that was that saying, what's the first victim of a war? The truth. That's valid for each and every country. Right, here is the last article coming from Reuters. This is a confirmation for me, but not for the baboons. For the baboons is news. For us, this is a confirmation. Ukraine says it hits pontoon bridges in Kursk region with US-made rockets. Ukrainian forces are using US-manufactured HIMARS rocket systems to destroy pontoon bridges and engineering equipment in Russia's Kursk region. Russian officials have said Ukraine has damaged or destroyed at least 3 bridges over Semi River since Kiev launched a major assault in the western Russia on August 6, advancing up to 28 to 35 kilometers. That's 39 miles. No, that's the other way around. 28 to 35 is not 39 miles. 28 kilometers will be about 18 miles, and 35 kilometers will be about 20 miles. But anyway, we all make mistakes. My point with this article is this. We knew it. The problem is like this. Yes, the bad guys, the Russians, attacked the neighbor unprovoked. Unprovoked because some other guys put their military infrastructure in the neighbor's property next to me to hit me quicker and around me. But hey, I'm supposed to just lay down and get fucked however they want. But if you think that's right, and it's no law saying you can't do that in international law, then you or those guys should be okay with us doing the same thing to you. That is, let's put some missiles in Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Mexico, Canada, and see how the baboons will react in the Al Capone's yard. They will be like panicking and my pussy hurts. That's exactly what's going to happen. That tells me that what these guys think it's okay if you do it to them, that's not okay. That means I have the right to say, back off, I'm going to fuck you up. And the guy says, no, there's no law you can do that. That's perfectly legal. All right, we're going to fuck you up. Unprovoked. It was not unprovoked. Anyway, if you want to believe that it was unprovoked, that's fine. Give me, I don't know, about, if you're so gullible, give me about $20,000 or more. Today, I will give it to you tomorrow at noon with 3,000% interest. We're going to meet tomorrow at noon. I guarantee you that. Do it. You won't. Why? Because you're not a baboon. But the media turns you into a baboon, believing it was an unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine. Well, anyway, that tells me a selective justice and selective values for some. So, put yourself in the shoes of the evil Russians. Okay, let's say the Russians attack the neighbor unprovoked. But remember, they are bad. So they attacked. And these guys, it's between me and them. And these guys have a few neighbors that are not on your side, supposedly, they're just the good people. Provide weapons to the neighbor to come and invade your country and kill members of your family. What would you do? Oh, obviously you would try to destroy these guys, but you think, wait a second, these guys are organized, are organized, they have weapons provided not by them, but by the neighbor A, B, and C. So what would you do? Logically, you go to the source. I've never seen the Russians going to the source. The Russians are only reacting and pushing here. It's like you have a water hose in the basement, let's say it's broken, or in the house. It's broken and the water comes in your water. What would you do? This is what the Russians are doing. And the Russians are smart. After all, are Europeans. So, all right, but that would imply the Germans are smart and the Brits are smart. Oh, some of the Brits don't consider themselves Europeans. But anyway, let's move on. Or the French are smart. Yes, some of them are smart. But nevertheless, you know the point I made. You don't? Okay, just stay with me longer on more videos and you're not going to understand. So the Russians, being smart, instead of going downstairs, turn off the click, 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 click from the city water coming in your house and stop it and then repair the pipe. No, they don't do that. They get the squeegees, they get some towels, and they just and the buckets. And they keep doing this as the water keeps pouring in your territory with the weapons, with the water coming from the city. Instead of turning off the city water coming in your freaking basement or the house. But the Russians are so dumb that they don't do it. Or maybe they're afraid. Why are you afraid, homie? You got nuclear weapons. Throw them over there a little bit. Hey, this is a consequence of your actions. Stop. Deadline. Tomorrow, 11:35 a.m., we're going to do this somewhere. Oh, we're going to do it too. No, you're not going to do it. NATO will stand down if the Russians will issue this kind. I mean, what are you going to do? Keep fighting these guys? I'm telling you what's going to happen. If I keep fighting these guys, receiving, it's organized by those guys, obviously. These guys are just used by the neighbor that I invaded, just used to destroy me. What am I going to do? I'm going to fight here. It's going to be an economic war. Besides the lives are going to be lost. Those guys are going to make their baboons, which is us, work harder, taxed more. They will print more money, and they will get more loans from international banking system. To do what? To pay for the military-industrial complex, the arms manufacturing companies, to supply these baboons that work for them to kill me, right? And then we're going to lose. We are going to lose. Supposedly freedom wins. No. We lose our lives, and our children's lives will be shackled in an economic slavery. That's what it's going to be. Economic slavery. We are in it more or less. Why? Look at us. We are like this. This is the water. How many of you can, cough up tomorrow $1,000 easily for, an emergency? Last time I checked, about 60% of the Americans are incapable of providing $400 for, do you call that rich? No, I don't think that's rich. That means if you stop working today, you're going to be under a bridge with cardboard box on you. That's why you're an economic slave at this point. Why? If you don't work at the level you work, you work hard, or you work like a lazy guy. Ask anybody, I'm not work like a lazy guy, I work hard. Therefore, you're like, when you accelerate a car and you take it to 5,000 RPM, that's what you are daily. That's how you are. If you just take your foot off the pedal, you cannot pay for your boat, your house, your life. Therefore, you enslaved yourself. You enslaved yourselves. So this is what's going to happen. These guys are going to tax you more. That means you have to work harder, longer hours, don't see your children. They will educate your children, right? They will print more money, inflation, and the banking system will want the money back that they lend you. How? Taxes and more printing of money. So that's what's going to happen with those countries fighting the Russians. What are the Russians going to do? The exact same thing. They have to supply their armies with the same thing those guys supply the Ukrainians. Ignore the Ukrainians being Ukrainians. Consider Ukrainians being the Americans. It doesn't matter if it's Ukrainian or a guy fighting me with the resources produced by you and as I explained, the three things: taxes, printing money, and banks, loans. You are, and the same the Russians will do the same thing. So who's losing? All of us. Who's winning? They win. They win. The guy's in charge. The guy who makes you think that maybe have an understanding. Oh, you don't think so? In my brain, I know, crazy as it is, it grows this little scenario. These guys are spoken. The Russians never, as far as I can tell during this war, or whatever it is, never initiated, they initiated the war. We already discussed that, right? Initiated something against, let's say, the Americans, the Germans, the French, the Brits. Never anything in the offensive. They were always, I don't like using always, never, and because sometimes, but I'm exaggerating right now, understand that. Never were on the offensive. Say, you know what, Americans, we're going to do this to you. We're going to do this to Germans, and because they can. They always, again, I don't like the word, react. I understand the art of war is see the enemy's attack and you react because he already reveals his intentions. Therefore, he doesn't know your intention. But sometimes you have to be on the offensive. No. What's up? No, you can't go over there. You know you can't go over there. Yeah, you wanna? Okay, go behind. No. Go. Good. The cat is here. All right, so they're never in offensive. They always react. Froze the assets, the Russians froze the assets. Kicked out of the SWIFT, we have to do this. We create a new club, supposedly. The new club means we're going to have two clubs. It's not a multipolar world. It's bipolar world. Bipolar. That is easy to control. Like the American democratic system of two-party system. It's easy to, they have the same sponsors and you have the same baboons. Oh, the different names, Kamala and whatever the other one is, Trump. Two, it's easy to, instead of having 15, but you have two big groups, NATO and, I don't know, BRICS, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is part of the other group, the other club. It's easier for the guys. Now, for those guys who really think and still jerk off on the idea, which I think it's merely false, that, hey, we destroyed the Ruskies in the Cold War. Ruskies being the Soviets, but nevertheless, they like to say, we destroyed, yeah, we won the Cold War. There was an understanding. That was an understanding. Do you think, if you were around the block halfway only, not one time, do you think that in 1 year, almost all of the evil communists in those Eastern Bloc decided, realized, have an enlightenment, got to, I know, to Satori, all right, oh my God, they got a Buddha, illumination, they got to, you know what, capitalism and democracy is better, my people, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you, and I'm going to take from me, I'm going to step down from power, really. Go around the building a few times and realize that's not how life works. If you think those guys decided in 1 year to drop everything and just release power, you know, democracy is, I realize right now, it's 68, that is democracy, and capitalism is better. You got to be out of your mind. So there was an understanding, including Soviet Union, that had nuclear weapons. They just said, you know what, we're going to give everything up and we're just going to, no, it was an understanding. What happened after that? These guys tried to move on and on. So the same here, when I see the Russians, how do you call it, not attacking, but at least being on an offensive with the Western countries, named Western countries, they're the sponsors, main sponsors of this invasion, okay? Then I would say this is for real. No, these guys are just, those guys sent howitzers, armored vehicles, tanks, airplanes. They coordinate things through HIMARS, through, how do you think these guys blew up those bridges? The Ukrainians have military satellites? Or they use the, I don't know, the Google Maps. Let's find the coordinates of those bridges, let's fuck them up. Do you think that's the way it worked? It was done by NATO, it was by Americans. American military satellites had the coordinates and the HIMARS. Boom, exactly. They didn't send 50 HIMARS shots. One. So can you imagine how clear that was? How organized that was? Please, my friends, don't be a baboon. I know there are too many over there. But anyway, you can't change them. All you have to do is just to tell them what to do. But in order to tell them what to do, you have to be in power. Get the power first, and then you tell them what to do. And they will follow. Why? Because they're weak. They're weak and cowards. Cowardness is a part of being weak. So again, the Russians, how can they do? Hey, wait a minute. These guys are attacking us, are winning, killing my family, and I'm just sitting here. I don't want to go to those guys over there. Direct to the Americans. Give them a deadline. What do you think the Americans will do? They will stand down. That's what they will do. If it's not an understanding. Now they say Putin is a crazy guy, a madman. He's a dictator. Why didn't he use nuclear weapons so far? Oh, do you think he's thinking, oh, I'm going to let only the Americans being the war criminals with the 2 atomic drops bombed? Do you think that's what it is? That tells you reason, rationality. That means he's not a mad guy. Well, he's not a mad guy, but he's evil. No, coming back. No, the other way. Yeah. Yeah, smell it, go the other way. Good job. And now you can come here. All right. You want to come here? You want to sit down? What do you want to do? My cat. You don't want to stay here? Okay, good. Just. Like a retard. Anyway. All right, so. Oh, you don't like that? Yeah. So here it is, my friends, with this beautiful attack. The Russians should give them a deadline. And I guarantee you, if that's for real, the other ones will say, okay, stand down. Why? Because they don't want to lose what they got. They got family. Oh, Putin got family. These guys think they're going to grab this thing right there. They have people who graduated from Princeton, from Harvard. They are very high. Do you think those guys, oh, we want to die for Ukraine, killing the Russians? We're just going to be retaliating if the Russians drop one, let's say, tactical nuclear weapons in a field in Ukraine. We're going to destroy Russia with our missiles. They're going to destroy us, and that's it. Let's do it. Do you think these guys, that's the way they think? They're weasels. They don't do that. They think about money, power, and a little bit of blowjobs. That's why they anyway, and being in charge of you and I. I know who you are, but I guarantee you are under their spell as I am as well. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.